Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're unpacking a story that completely proves the most magical adventures can literally start right in our own backyards. We're going to be breaking down the journey of Oliver and the Heart of the Sky Kingdom. Now, this is a tale that's just as much about the sheer power of empathy as it is about exploring incredible, hidden worlds right up above the clouds. Whether you're a longtime fan of whimsical journeys or you just love a good, heartwarming theme, you are absolutely going to love this one. So, grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's unravel this sky-high adventure together. Okay, let's jump right into it and set the scene. Our story kicks off in the sunny, super idyllic town of Breezy Meadows. We meet Oliver, this cheerful kid who just loves watching balloons and constantly dreams of soaring high above the clouds. Pretty relatable, right? Anyway, one afternoon he's just hanging out, playing in a field of wildflowers, when he spots something entirely out of the ordinary. It's this beautiful rainbow balloon just kind of tangled up in a tree. But here's the catch. This isn't just some lost toy. Tied right to its string is a golden tag, and it has a very specific, almost daring instruction. Hold tight and believe in magic. I mean, talk about a direct invitation to step into the unknown. It's basically begging him to take a leap of faith. And literally, the second he grabs that balloon and accepts the invitation, it's like gravity just decides to give up. With a massive whoosh, he is instantly and gently lifted right up into the air. We're not talking about some slow, terrifying, hold-on-for-dear-life ascent here. It's a completely magical, smooth transport. He just goes up, soaring right past the birds, sailing past your everyday clouds, and even gliding straight through actual rainbows. It is this rapid, totally exhilarating transition from a perfectly normal wildflower field straight into this breathtaking new realm they call the Sky Kingdom. Now, you'd probably think the Sky Kingdom would be pure, unadulterated paradise, right? I mean, on paper, it has floating islands, drifting around, sparkling crystal castles, colorful birds singing magical songs, the whole shebang. But when Oliver actually arrives, he finds this really stark contrast. Despite the majestic architecture and those crystal castles, the vibe is incredibly heavy. The clouds all around him are gray and, well, undeniably sad. It's a kingdom in deep distress. The environment is actually physically manifesting this sudden loss of magic, looking totally gloomy and drained, and it seems to be fading away by the minute. So what exactly is going on here? To understand the gloom, we've got to figure out what's missing. Oliver is quickly approached by this super friendly cloud rabbit named Puffy, who gives him the rundown on the crisis. Basically, the kingdom has lost its core, this magnificent treasure known as the Rainbow Heart. And we're not just talking about a shiny trinket here. This thing is the vital, beating engine that literally fills the entire Sky Kingdom with color and happiness. Puffy explains that without it, the whole realm is right on the brink of losing all its magic entirely. It's incredibly high stakes. They have to find the heart or watch this magnificent world fade to gray permanently. While Oliver, being the cheerful and helpful kid he is, immediately agrees to jump in and help out. But the best part? He doesn't have to do it alone. He instantly teams up with this amazing, whimsical crew of magical animals who are desperately trying to save their home. We've got Sunny the Singing Parrot, Misty the Cloud Unicorn, and Fluffy the Flying Bear. And this fellowship is absolutely crucial to the story. Each of them brings their own totally unique energy to the quest, which completely transforms it from a lonely rescue mission into this highly collaborative, hopeful search across a vast magical landscape. And their journey is honestly pretty epic. It takes them on this really progressive path through the kingdom's geography. First off, they have to brave the shimmering heights of the Rainbow Wind Bridge. Next up, they're navigating these sprawling, gorgeous floating flower gardens, hunting down any possible clue they can find. And finally, they literally board giant cloud ships to sail across the vast expanse of the Sky Sea. Every single step tests their resolve, but it also brings them closer to the source of the mystery, ultimately leading them right to the highest point in the entire realm, the castle above the stars. So they finally make it to the top tower of the castle above the stars, and bingo, they spot the missing treasure. The Rainbow Heart is sitting right there. But hold on, this brings us to the ultimate burning question of the whole mystery. Who actually took the thing? I mean, up until this exact moment, the story has been perfectly building our expectation for a classic showdown. Usually, when a magical artifact gets stolen, you're dealing with some greedy villain trying to hoard power or plunge the world into eternal darkness, right? So Oliver and the crew brace themselves, totally ready to face whoever brought the mighty Sky Kingdom to its knees. But surprise, it turns out the thief wasn't malicious at all. Instead of finding some massive, terrifying beast guarding a hoard of treasure, They realized the heart was just being held by a shy little cloud dragon named Breeze. When you and I think of dragons, we immediately picture intimidating, fire-breathing monsters. But Breeze? He's just a small, lonely creature sitting completely quietly with the rainbow heart. It's brilliant because the tension of the story instantly shifts. It goes from this expected battle of good versus evil straight into a sudden moment of deep, unexpected empathy. And then Breeze drops this confession that completely flips the script. He looks at them and says, "I borrowed the rainbow heart because nobody wanted to play with me." Wow. This simple, heartbreaking admission shows us that taking the heart wasn't an act of greed at all. It was an act of profound loneliness. Breeze didn't want to destroy the Sky Kingdom's magic. He just desperately wanted to feel connected to it. He felt isolated, so he took the one thing in the kingdom that radiated warmth and happiness simply because he lacked it in his own life. It's such a powerful reminder for us that sometimes what looks like a destructive action from the outside is actually just a desperate cry for connection. So, how do Oliver and the crew react? This is absolutely crucial. They don't get mad. They don't scold Breeze or attack him for taking the heart. Nope. Instead, Oliver just smiles kindly and tells them you don't need magical treasures to make friends. And instantly, the whole team just steps right up. Setty the Parrot chimes in, saying they'd love to play with him. Misty the Unicorn invites him on all their future adventures. And Fluffy the Bear cheers that friends are the greatest treasure of all. They literally solve this massive kingdom-ending crisis through pure, radical inclusion. Let's talk about the payoff here. With Breeze's eyes now absolutely sparkling with happiness and a newly formed group of best friends by his side, they all work together to return the rainbow heart. The exact moment it touches its crystal stand, the magic is just explosive. There is this massive boom of energy. The gloomy, gray atmosphere is instantly wiped out. The clouds turn fluffy and white again, giant rainbows stretch across the horizon, and flowers start blooming on every single floating island. The kingdom's sparkling glory is entirely restored, and it's all driven by the simple joy of a new friendship. Now, the pacing of this resolution is incredibly swift. Within literally 1 second of the heart touching the stand, the colors just explode back into the world. Fast forward 1 hour, and the entire kingdom is gathered together throwing a massive, joyous celebration called the Grand Rainbow Festival. But then, after just one night of celebrating, the scene abruptly cuts. Boom. Oliver suddenly wakes up, back in his own bed, right back in Breezy Meadows. The quiet normalcy of his room leaves him, and honestly leaves us too, wondering for a brief second if this entire vibrant adventure was all just a crazy, vivid dream. But was it a dream? Well, actually no. He looks over, and the story leaves us with one final, undeniable piece of magic. Tied right to his window is a single, tiny rainbow feather. The appearance of this physical object is so important because it permanently bridges the gap between the mundane and the magical. It validates his entire journey and his courage. And most importantly, it tells Oliver that his new friends, Sunny, Misty, Fluffy, and of course Breeze, are absolutely real. And they're still up there, just waiting for their next big adventure together. Ultimately, this whole adventure boils down to a really beautiful takeaway. True magic? It isn't a glowing heart sitting on a crystal pedestal. The real magic is the simple, everyday act of making sure nobody feels left out. True friendship comes directly from kindness and inclusion. By welcoming Breeze into the fold rather than punishing him, Oliver didn't just retrieve a lost object, he healed the entire kingdom from the inside out. When we welcome others, the gray clouds in our own lives lift, and everyone feels valued and happy. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really think about this. The Sky Kingdom might be a fictional, magical realm floating way up above the clouds, but those exact dynamics of isolation and inclusion, they happen all around us, every single day. So ask yourself, how can you use a little kindness to bring some magic to someone who might be feeling lonely in your own world? Who can you welcome into your circle today to share your own rainbow heart? Keep that thought with you as you go about your day. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey, and hey, keep looking for the magic around you. Catch you next time.
For more interesting videos, subscribe our YouTube channel